Crisis communication tip of the week. Never let lawyers control your messaging to the media during a crisis. With very few exceptions. Here's the situation. Imagine that you are up for murder. You're being tried for murder. You could face the gas chamber. Would you hire a public relations executive to represent you in front of the jury? Your life is at stake? I don't think so. You would say, okay, maybe we'll have PR to help after the trial or during the trial, but I want a trial attorney to represent me if my life is at stake, because that's the person who has the experience. That's the sort of person who has the background I need. And sadly, lawyers are not taught anything about communication and dealing with the media and molding public opinion in law school for the most part. Here's what a lawyer is trained to do. Here's what they're paid to do. Keep you out of jail. Keep you from losing court decisions. Here's the problem. In a crisis situation, a lawyer's first instinct quite often is to say, no, say no comment, don't comment, we don't want to get ourselves in trouble or make things worse. And then what happens is you can be so destroyed in the court of public opinion. Sure, the lawyer kept you from going to jail. You're not in jail, but you've completely ruined your reputation. All of your customers hate you. Regulators think you're crooked. The public thinks you're crooked. And you've gone bankrupt, out of business, you've lost your job. And the lawyer can say, hey, did my job, I kept you out of jail. As a CEO of a company or as someone who has a fiduciary duty to protect the whole company, you cannot focus exclusively on the legal arm. Lawyers are trained to think about the legal aspects. You can't ignore the legal aspects, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. And that's why I would certainly listen to lawyers if they tell you, okay, if we say X, then we're guaranteed to get sued, we're guaranteed to lose a court case, and this is going to make us seem criminally liable. Okay, don't say that. But you have to say something. The court of public opinion is very different from a law room court where there's a judge and a jury and someone transcribing everything you say. It's a different type of venue. And that's why I believe it's practically crazy to listen to most lawyers on what to say to the media during a crisis. And that means if they say don't talk to the media, huge, huge mistake. There's always something you can say that isn't necessarily going to increase your liability. You can always say something like, we look forward to being able to share with the public all the issues here once we've been cleared by the judge to talk. Something like that is innocuous. We wish everyone, all parties involved in the situation, best of health and speedy recovery. Isn't saying you're guilty of harming someone, but you need some form of public message. Otherwise, you look like you're hiding, you look like you're guilty, you look like a criminal, you look like a mobster. Now, here's the unfortunate reality in many corporations is the chief legal counsel is paid $1 million a year and the head of public relations is paid $50,000 a year. Well, guess who has more clout? One of them is seen as almost a low-level assistant, practically an intern. The other one is seen as a peer of the CEO. In fact, they might belong to the same country clubs. They might live in the same neighborhoods. Whereas the PR person is probably moonlighting, bartending at the lawyer's parties, catering at his or her home. So there is a huge disparity in terms of pay, therefore influence, therefore clout. But remember, if you are the one who's got to speak on behalf of a company, an organization, a government entity, you've got to look at your overall reputation. You certainly have to take into consideration legal concerns, but you have to really look at the reputation of your organization in front of all stakeholders, and the media is the way that you're going to reach them, you have to have a message. Have lawyers at the table, but you need to have, whether it's people who are full-time PR people or not, doesn't matter. You need to have public relations professionals, media and communications professionals at the table so you can come up with a good quality message.